robots and preparing food.
Like, who doesn't like to talk about robots?
Robots are great,
Everyone likes robots. Now,
but they're also not great.
and they can take away your job.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like, robotics have been around for a while. Like, we've been seeing progress in robotics for a long time, but they've only now in the last few years started to really enter the restaurant in a big way.
In a workplace
environment. And part of the reason is in some of these high turnover, high volume fast food restaurants is it's actually really hard to find good workers. And there's repetitive tasks like flipping burgers or making hamburgers that actually take a lot of work, and it's very low pay work. So a lot of the focus of the robotics that are going into restaurants and food service now from some of these startups have focused on these highly repetitive tasks where it's actually really hard to find good work. So I would push back a little bit on your contention. I think you're going this way that like, okay, robots are going to take away our jobs. Well, that's probably true at some point. But like the jobs they're taking away now is like the fast food guys will tell you, we can't find workers to take these jobs.
Right.
Especially because kids nowadays, they're not like going into restaurants for their first job. They want to be Uber drivers, right? So there's the gig economy.
Or work in a tech company.
Yeah. So the gig economy is actually taken what has oftentimes been traditional starter jobs for us old guys.
Right.
We started like flipping burgers,
Burger King. Yeah,
or like working at the grocery store. Now like those jobs are not sexy. So they're looking for robots to help.
Right. So those particular jobs are not being taken anyhow. So why not just give them to robots? That's what you're saying.
That's the point. Now,
Flippy. Remember Flippy?
Flippy. There's by a company called Miso Robotics.
Miso Robotics. Yeah.
There's Zoom, a company out of San Francisco that actually has like a $1 billion valuation on their last funding round. They're making a pizza making robot, and they also have this crazy delivery truck. And there's like a company out of San Francisco still. A lot of them are out of San Francisco. It's where kind of the hotbed is, called Dishcraft, and actually is doing robotic washing of dishes.
Isn't that a dishwasher?
Yeah, but like that's
but
the thing.
Fancier, Carl's, and it talks to you.
Yeah, that's the
Your
thing.
dishes
though.
are
Like,
done.
That's worthy of conversation, right? Like what was yesterday's robot just becomes an appliance at some point, right? So like,
right.
In the 50s, like a dishwasher may have been really magical. Like, oh my gosh,
true.
there's this magical box that washes my dishes.
Yeah.
I don't have to slave over the sink.
I just turn on the
But
on
now it's
switch.
like now it's a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not magical anymore.
Right. The robot just comes up to you normally in the future and is like, would you like me to do things? And you're like, oh, that's the thing.
So like there is this ongoing conversation in this industry, like what is automation versus what is robotics? And like there is a difference. Automation is oftentimes just a thing that automates a thing, like a washing of dishes, that doesn't actually involve any serious robotics. Like there's no things picking it up, moving around, and like so.
Right. I worked at Burger King for I think 2.5 weeks, and I was like, fuck this shit. Because it was that same thing. It was like repetitive to the point of like brain dead. Like, I mean, I needed the job and whatever. Later on, I worked at Taco Bell and I did all the shit I had to do.
Was that last week?
That was yesterday. Yeah. I got to take my hairnet. Is it off? But that was something that was so repetitive that I think anybody wouldn't want to do it, right? Yeah. So if there's robots that fit that thing, that's fine. I think, and I'm jumping ahead to the ending, is I feel like if we do it right, meaning robots added to the workforce, we can take care of some of the stuff that we don't want to do anyhow, and then also have new jobs around that work, right? Like Miso and Flippy is the flipping hamburger robot. There's still someone should manage that shit, because like Flippy's gonna fuck up. Like Flippy's not gonna get everything right. Sorry, Flippy, if you're in the audience. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Flippy.
Hey, Flippy. It's not about you. It's Flippy Jr. It's someone else. But you've got to have people around those robots. Am I right?
I mean, that's what the pros would say. Like, hey, like, don't worry. If if you think this line of work is going away, we'll have another line of work taking care of the robots. I'm not necessarily sure that I buy that all the way down the line, but you have seen technology come, and we haven't seen all of the jobs go away. It's just there are new jobs that emerge as technology kind of moves society along. I do think if you have mass automation of certain industries, you do see jobs disappear, right? So we've seen some factory worker jobs go away with automation and robotics. You've seen as you see automation of assembly lines in car factories, you start to see maybe those jobs go away. There's a reason why Uber is investing heavily in automated robotic cars. Is their biggest cost of doing business is the drivers.
People. Yeah.
So these big companies are often thinking 15 years ahead and saying, hey, we do want to get rid of the workers and just use robots. So I don't think that ultimately there's going to be, we will find new jobs for people who are displaced, but like some of these jobs are going to go away. You're going to have to like figure out a way to make a living.